My name is Lyndsey. I am a white, Hispanic, female, heterosexual, married to an HIV-negative man with a 2-year-old HIV-negative daughter, and also a homeowner, stay-at-home mom, and that's me. Been HIV positive since 2002. I am undetected now for about 8 years. So yes, I was HIV positive when I was pregnant. I contracted HIV it was September 2002 when I was actually diagnosed, given the results. I went in to get tested August 2002 with my primary care physician. I did the Western blot because there was an incident at my job. I was a laboratory sterilization tech, but I was high at work and I didn't follow the protocol to go to the health department to get checked. So I didn't want to lose my job because I supported my habit with my work. I knew my primary care physician was going to be coming up my appointment for my yearly, and I went there and I told her what happened. And this was in 2002 because of my risky behavior of using IV drugs and only associating with IV drug users, which meant people in prison, people in jail, people with high risk behaviors also. In my early 20s, I started using IV drugs, and at that time in the 90s, no one had clean needles. Everybody shared the same needle, and it would be passed around the room for several days, maybe weeks at a time, till it was just barred. Once I started realizing the behaviors that I was doing, I started getting tested. Unfortunately, I never did contract it back then and give it to anybody that I'm aware of. And also, within the time that I was working at the laboratory sterilization tech, I was dating this gentleman. I shouldn't say gentleman, I should say this man. Found out later that his ex-girlfriend had HIV, and he refused to get a test or even tell me that information. So it either could have been at work or it could have been through him. We don't know.
How did you feel when you got diagnosed?
Well, because I already accepted my high-risk behavior of life, and because I accepted a job where I had to sign a waiver stating that I was going to be exposed to all these different viruses, I felt I was the person to do that since other people weren't at high-risk life that I knew of. So I figured I might as well be the one getting sick instead of everybody else, because that's how low of myself I felt. But even as prepared as I thought I was, when I heard the HIV positive results, my whole world fell apart. Because I was already educated on the IV use and what goes on with the IV use life of intravenous drugs, I already was educated through that with my church. It didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Because I had chose to make that choice to turn my back against what I was grown up as, believing in a God. And I chose to turn my back against God and go live a life. So when I made that choice, it didn't matter.
How has being HIV positive affected your relationships?
Family, my intermediate family, my mom, dad, brother, and sister, very, very supportive. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, very few cousins come around me anymore. Some aunts have just judged me till this day, even. At my baby shower, my aunt told me I had no business bringing an innocent life into this world, being HIV positive, and her not knowing the circumstances without even her asking, and that's how I'm judged with that.
Can you talk a little bit more about stigma and how it has affected your life?
Now that I have a daughter and I actually found a husband that loves me unconditionally, that's HIV negative. Up until that point, I was telling everyone, and it didn't matter to me what kind of stigma, as long as I was preaching, and for everybody to get tested and be more safe and to care, telling the IV community to care more than just giving fresh needles. They actually needed to use condoms and whatnot. But like I said, when I got married, and especially after I had my baby, I wish I could just turn back the time and not tell anybody. Mm-hmm. I noticed that the IV community, the drug community, accepted me more than the people that, my family. People are scared. They're scared of me, and they're scared of what they don't want to know, or they haven't been tested.
What are the top 5 things that you look for that help you through the day?
Well, I hear my sister's voice And she says it's over 10 years. They say that they said back in there, she is aware that 10 years I'd be dying with HIV. I'd be with full-blown AIDS. She says your odds are you're undetected and you have a beautiful family and you're doing wonderful. That's one of them. That one keeps me going throughout the day, every day. And then my husband, of course, his unconditional love, and he says I'm probably the most healthy person he's ever met because I take care of myself and take care of my cocktails and get my doctor's appointments. He says a lot of people don't do that. I guess my husband's 11 years older than I am, and he's dated different women, and he did not want to stay with them because they didn't take care of themselves. He was scared of that. So with him knowing about me makes it a lot better for our relationship. And seeing my daughter's beautiful eyes in the morning, knowing that there's something that I can help change with that by loving and nurturing and having her not make the same mistakes I made. And I hope that happens.
What are the 5 stressful things that you have to deal with, and how would you say they affect your health?
Oh my goodness. Well, what I've done is I created my own bubble of community, which allows me only to have positive people in my life anymore. And I do not associate with anybody else that is going to bring anything negative into my life. So those stresses have gone away outside my bubble. And that has helped keep me calm and keep me undetected, I'm sure, because it's all a frame of mind also.
Would you say that you were ever discriminated against?
Well, that's another issue. I grew up very religiously. Yes, I was persecuted and judged. I was called the devil's child and a devil worshiper because of the religion we were in. So my persecution has started since I was in kindergarten. I was the daughter of a minister, and I was supposed to be the exemplary youth for the congregation, which put a lot of pressure on me in terms of being this perfect religious child.
What would you say to the younger populations in your community?
Well, I know it's a sexually active younger youth. What I'd like to tell them is before they even start dating, I know a lot of people don't even get tested, meaning their parents. So I believe that the young generation, regardless of what they think they are, they need to go find out for themselves. They need to take responsibility for their own bodies, even under 18, and get HIV tested so they know where they stand with themselves and their health.